Let's talk about Robert Lewandowski. Now, he came out recently to say that he is not going to play for Poland if the current manager is still at the helm. Now, I mean, we all know how players want to represent their country, represent their national team. And this is Lewandowski coming out point blank to say he's not going to play if the manager is still in charge. Now, I know Lewandowski has done a lot for himself in his career, from Dortmund to Bayern, now with Barcelona, and he's gotten that status as a top number 9, as a top footballer. But do you think, as a professional coming out to make such statement, as the captain of your national team, coming out to say you are not going to play as far as a particular manager is still in charge, do you think does that sit right with you? Or do you think Lewandowski has gotten to that level that he can do what he likes, he can make such decision as a footballer that he is in his career?
I don't think that there's ever a place you get to where you are permitted to make that statement. There's never a right way of doing a wrong thing. A wrong thing is a wrong thing. If something is black, it's black. If it's white, it's white. I know that in life there are gray areas. There are sometimes you make exception to the rules. But it's this exception to the rules that we make that causes us a lot of problems. You can withdraw from the national team. Step aside. Once you make that statement public, what you've shown is that every other player should aspire to be as powerful and as Lewandowski and begin to determine who coaches them in the national team. Because the question is, has he not had that type of coaches at club level ever? Was he able to come out and say, I will not play for club because of this coach? You think every coach, the coaches you play with at club level are worse than the devil sometimes. They don't always like you. They don't always, even if you're scoring goals and all that, they think that you're overpaid. They think that you're pampered. They think that whatever, if you score 40 goals, they think that what they're paying you should be scoring 80 goals. But you go there, you lace your boots, you play, you give it your all, you do everything, you don't cough. Why do people always think that it is the national team coaches that they can do things with? Players have been banished from senior national team, from senior team at club level to under 23. Not even told not to even eat in the canteen, the cafeteria with the other senior players. Meanwhile, he's a senior player, and they don't do anything. One Nigerian player was told by fake rumor, fake story, and he went on Instagram tirade to insult coaches, players, the national team, and everybody. And we've seen that happen. Why don't they do it with their club side? Even the ones that dare to do, they always wait till their career has ended. Samuel Eto'o blasting Pep Guardiola, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They don't say it while they are with the team. So why would you do it? Lewandowski is a great player. Nobody can question his CV. Nobody can question.
So you're saying irrespective of status, he should not be doing that.
There is no status you get to where you should say that, make that kind of statement. If you don't want to play for the national team, excuse. Why are we blasting? What's it called? Victor Boniface for the nonsense that he put out on Twitter. And for those people who say, oh, we're being emotional, if he didn't think it was rubbish, why did he delete it? If he really thought he was confident that thing he said, he tweeted was right, why did he delete it? Because if I say something, I remember some years ago when Fani Kayode said something to a journalist. It didn't sit well with me. And I felt everybody was quiet. I said, no, I'm going to give this one my shot. I knew that I could be in trouble. I knew. But my position on the matter was very clear. I get my position on it. The sad part was that most people made it tribal. Like, guys, a Yoruba chief, you shouldn't be addressing Yoruba chief like that. I said, well, Yoruba people are not like that. Yoruba people are responsible people. This guy is just one of the fools who's, saying nonsense. But you could also argue that his status is a former minister, is this, have earned him the right to lash at a journalist. No, it doesn't. So Lewandowski, with all his status and all that, he should be leading. Should be leading by example. He's also scored over 30 goals for the national team. The third all-time highest goal scorer who is still active in the world right now in terms of club and country. Yeah. I don't sit here and I'm looking at him and I say, come, with all these things that you've scored and done and achieved, what did you win for Poland? What exactly did you win for Poland? Where did you take Poland to? Did they get to the semi-finals of any major tournament? Did you score all these goals and they get to the very best place? So
he's riding on his glory with club
shut
side.
Up and go to your club and take all those glory. Don't come here and say if the national team coach doesn't. Probably you want some things, some levers that are not given to you. You want to be the prima donna. You want to be the god, the lord of the ring. You want to be. This is not basketball where players can determine who should be traded and who should be signed. This is football. The coaches, we all know from day one, when I played football, the coach's word is law. football is not a democracy. It's an autocracy where the coach is God. And if you can't take it, get out of the team quietly. Don't come and put the coach under unnecessary pressure. The job of coaching the national team is the hardest coaching job in the world. You cannot go and sign players. You do not have a long time to train with these players. Players who are not playing in their club because they are from your national team and you don't have a replacement for them, you would invite. Players who are not in the best form, you would invite. You will try to massage their ego. You try to rub them. You try to, rub them right, try to impress them. You're dealing with your own problem, but you would put it aside and try to make them feel good. No. In club football, if a player comes in this season and next season is not doing well, you sell him. You have two windows. You have the summer window and the winter window. If in national team, it is like that. We've been stuck with some of the worst set of players that played for the Nigerian national team in forever since football started in Nigeria. This is the worst group of players collective that we've had. Have we been able to kick them aside? No, because if you do, where do you get the other ones from? They just somebody. So you keep massaging their ego, and it's the same thing with every other national team here and there. England had a golden generation. The reason they didn't win any pin is because players from Chelsea, players from Man United, players from Liverpool did not think that they can put their club difference aside and then do well with the national team. Every coach, whether it is Bobby Robson who took them to the semi-finals of the World Cup, or the semi-finals of back-to-back semi-finals of the World Cup, the Euros and all that, or it is Glenn Hoddle, it is whoever, McLaren, who stood under the rain and died standing while he was there, like Roberto Baggio, who died standing after kicking a penalty in 1994. It's the national team. It is the stone that life throws at you that you use to build your army. And if you're lucky to come from a country like Spain where they shone at great talent, you will be like you are the greatest coach in the world. But then if you come from countries like Nigeria, like Poland, like Austria, like Macedonia, my brother, what you see is what you get. You're going to manage it. So the coach is also dealing with his own. If you say you don't like the coach, what the coach is doing, please retire, move on, let some other persons come. There is a generation that will come that would win something for the country. You're not going to be there forever. You scored a lot of goals. Congratulations, sir. Thank you very much for all you've done. But in your career, when your CV will be read, it will be read as a guy who won everything for club and couldn't replace it in the national team. Wasn't that what we used to say about Messi? For all of his winnings, he's a system player. He can only win with Barcelona. He can't win with his national team until he won the Copa, then won the World Cup, and everybody say, oh no, it's FIFA that gave him, he didn't win it. Whatever it is, Lewandowski does not have the right to say that. I mean, I like him. He's a player that I love.
We all do.
He's a great player. I don't know anybody who do not like Lewandowski. Lewandowski does not have the kind of hate watch that people like Messi and Ronaldo gets. Everybody loves him. He's a guy who knows how to put the ball in the old onion bag. But that doesn't mean that if he does something that is bad, it's bad. Lewandowski might retire and become a coach and not find out that. You see this thing about coaching. You never know until you become a coach. Yeah. Because most times when coaches take decisions, people think that they are brutal. Like, when I love Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's a great guy. I love him. Maybe because I played in Sweden. I don't know. But I just love him, right? But every time I see him talking negative about Pep Guardiola, I feel pity for him. Because for me, it's a no-brainer. I would choose Messi over Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Then when you say, oh, the manner in which he did it, man, shut up. It's like, that thing that I've caught a few friends in my life off where they would say something and then they have something pre-programmed in their head of how I should respond. So if I don't respond like that, then it's a problem. Or those kind of people who would injure you or insult you and say sorry, and then expect that because they say sorry, everything should be fine. I think that one day when Lewandowski retires and become a coach, he will not see. I love one thing that Jack Wilshere said in one of his interviews, that he didn't know that coaching could be this difficult. That he just felt like coaches, he just gather players together, tell them what the tactical instruction, the players are the ones that are suffering. But then he started coaching at youth level, not even senior level. There's no high demand, just develop players. And he started realizing how difficult. He started seeing himself in a lot of players and doing the things that he used to think that was right. Now they are not right, and he doesn't even know how to correct the players. That's why many players who were very excellent, who are very vocal in the media, go into coaching and they fail. I always say this: playing is an act, coaching is science, with a touch of art in it, right? So if you went to school, you know that art classes and science classes are polar opposites.
Yeah.
So you might be fantastically gifted in the act of playing football. When it comes to coaching, you need an education. That's why you don't just play football. You don't need education to play football. You say you play football, people sign you from the streets. Baby didn't play anywhere. Man United signed him for 7 million. But you see coaching, nobody can say, oh, this guy, we saw him on the roadside coaching. Let's give him. No, you go and get certification. You go to classroom. You understand a lot. You understand science. You understand statistics. You understand nutrition, diet, a bit of human anatomy, and then coaching itself before you get a job to do. So when you play football, judging coaches, you have to really, really know before you judge. Like recently, I saw people saying, "Oh, Eric Chell should not play 4-3-3. He should be playing he should not play 4-4-2. Should play 4-3-3." All the coaches before Eric Chell all play 4-3-3. We sacked them. What's so special about the 4-3-3? But that person who's saying, he's saying from his own perspective. Is it wrong? No. Two truths can stand side by side. But times change. Just like when Aubameyang was let go, Aubameyang did not attack the board. First off, Arteta didn't give you a contract. There is a company that gave you a contract. They agreed to let you go. He didn't attack them. He picked the weakest link. People always pick the weakest link to attack. And the coach is always the guy to attack and throw under the bus and see how it goes. It's just like Napoli. Everybody was waiting for Napoli to fail, to bottle the league title. And say, yes, you see, that's Conte. But see what happened. He won the league. He lost Osimhen. He lost Frastella. He won the league. Now nobody's talking. People are not praising him because they've done too many graphic design to mock him. They don't know how to praise him. So sometimes coaches live and die by their decisions. Players can miss the chance and come back again. But Lewandowski, whatever his success is for club, it's nothing is done for Poland that should warrant him to say is he not already near his retirement?
Yeah,
I was about to say, what's the I won't play for the like he has like another 10
because
years
I was
to
about
play.
to say there are several ways the Polish FA can react to this. Is either they bring Lewandowski and the coach to settle things amicably, or they bow to his demand and fire the coach to appoint a new coach. But as it stands, footballing reasons,
I don't think they'll fire the coach.
They've won 3 games in 2025, so I don't see any reason why they can fire the coach because of because of a player like Lewandowski.
I don't think they'll fire the coach because if they want to fire the coach right now, it's going to be because of the result, not because of Lewandowski. Because Poland were losing games with Lewandowski there without this coach. Poland have not won anything since Lewandowski has played more than 10 years on the national team. They've not been to the finals or the semi-finals of any major competition. So what the heck are you really... I mean, Lewandowski, I'm not shitting on you. I can't. I don't even have the audacity to do that. There's nothing about his game to fault. But this is Poland we're talking about. So it's like Benin Republic getting angry with Ganatrov.
Bottom line on this is, irrespective of your status, respect the coach. You don't come out as a top player to do that.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.